Friday, 08/17, 25 seconds, year 2023. 8-month, August 4th day. Jesus Christ. Finish that fucking opt-out fucking affidavit fucking mailing. Fuck. So here's more evidence concerning that banks to opt out. So, around 1 o'clock yesterday, 1300 hours, after the clerk was electronic demonly possessed to destroy the affidavit. That's what was going on. That affidavit was looking to be destroyed. When the extraterrestrial, the Vatican military, CEOs, employees, robot humanoids in the path. Were being used, especially Clerk 77 at the Springfield, Oregon Post Office, which is the General Postmaster's U.S., or it's not office, it's USPS, Postal Service. United States Postal Service, and ain't no office, it's just a store. Ain't no different from going down to the local market store. Although it seems like it's federal, it's not federal. Federal, for derelict, for dereliction of duty. On the legal side. Anyway, so around 1 o'clock yesterday, I called the local, or the 800 USPS number, the Postal Service store number, the main number, not the local store that's here in Springfield, Oregon. I called the main Google search 800 number. Contact, and I was getting the runaround on the recording. There was nothing on the recording for general questions. Nothing. And all that was there was for this, for that, for some program. So I just clicked it, see if there was going to be an eventual go to in this case, it would be a humanoid robot to speak to. And I'm sitting there, and I was put on hold. They asked, what style of music would you like to listen to? What style of music would you like to listen to while on hold? Country? Dance? You know, all the different styles that they got, and then they just chose one, whatever the fuck. I'm sitting there thinking, you know, I ain't got time for this. I ain't in the mood. The body's not in the time. The brain's not in time. In the mood, have the time to be fiddling around like this. So I just hung up, got on the bicycle, and rode to the rode to the other post office that's over here. It's the main processing center post office on Gateway, Springfield, Oregon, where the Gateway Mall is at. And I told the guy, I said, I had this sticker ripped off. It was removed from the clerk told me that this sticker is not required. The green card is not required for registered mail. And he said, where is this at? I said, one on A Street. He said, that clerk is incompetent. He flat out, with much authority in the voice, that clerk is incompetent. So, after speaking to him, he told me he had mentioned that those envelopes don't go out till 5 o'clock. Because I wanted him to call the office and have them hold that envelope. And he said he wouldn't even be able to get through. Which is the same thing going on for anyone who wants to call the local post office. No one's able to get through. They don't answer for no one. Although I had the post office Postmaster General's phone number, or no, email. Had the Postmaster General's email. There was no time for this. So I got on the bicycle and I moseyed on down there with all this pressure, like I need to get there in a hurry, and I just relaxed. I forced myself to relax on the bicycle ride because it was at least 2 miles to ride to get there. Could have been 3. So I get there, and there's the clerk 77 was in there. She was helping someone. And then the other clerk, which is the African American clerk that knows me. And the 77 clerk also knows me. But she's new. Within the last 3 years, 3 or 4 years, she's new. And I could tell, one day there's just getting on the side note of experiencing her when she was new. I was getting some Save the Vanishing Species stamps, and I told the clerk there that I was getting the species stamp from, and the new clerk 77, a girl, older girl, probably 45 around there, 40s, blonde hair. She looks like a tranny to me. But she could be a girl too. Some girls just have masculine aspects. She definitely does have masculine aspects. She got big old manly hands. She's skinny, regular shape. Not skinny, not fat, just regular fit. And probably just under C-cup breasts. But something strikes me that clerk is a tranny. And not a problem with me, no big deal with me. Figure people want to be that way, that's up to them. who am I to butt into someone else's business? And although I see some weird shit going on with the tranny movement, such as any movement's got weird shit in it, than just the tranny movement. Every movement's got weird shit going on in it. When I say weird shit, I'm talking fraudulent shit. I'm talking, participating in stealing the share credit to the bankruptcy, which is why I write affidavits. So this all ties right in. Because that's the whole gist to the video, is concerning the affidavit that I sent the legal team, or I called it the legal agent. All capitalized word legal, upper lowercase agent, parentheses, doing business as an act. I put DBAA, lowercase letters in parentheses, DBAA. Doing business as an act. These are just customized things. When I wrote the master lien, I started customizing words, because DBA is legally, that's what's supposed to be used as alphabetical letters to represent a small lettered acronym, doing business as, DBA. That's known in the business world. I customize it, because I had learned that in affidavits I put whatever I want, or write whatever I want, interpret any word any way I want. I'm telling the story. That's what that affidavit's for. I'm telling the story. I ain't telling the story you want me to tell. I'm not telling the story any legal assumptive jurisdiction representative wants me to tell. The bully. I ain't telling the story the bully wants me to tell. I ain't gonna be controlled like that. Fuck that. Anyway, so getting back. So as I went back to the post office, determined to put that green sticker, that green card, attach it back to that registered mail envelope. When I got there, she was at the clerk 77 was at the desk. Helping someone. So I went to the black clerk that knows me, the African American clerk. And I pulled out the sticker and I said, this needs to be put back on the registered mail that I dropped off. And he immediately said, "Ooh, that's a big one." As though, yeah, that sticker has to be on that registered mail. That green card has to be on that registered mail. So anyway, a long story short, I could go into all the details, or the retails, or the creditor tails, or the creditor ends, exhaust everything to the fullest. All the different thoughts that run through the brain, that were sent through the brain, through the extraterrestrial, the soul thoughts, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I put it on there, and then he gave me the postal stamp, and I stamped out. Because when I saw the envelope, this time it had the brown tape on it, and it had the little stamp marks all over it, with no date in the middle, just regular stamp marks. Had no date in the middle. which was quite odd. Now that I think on it, and it had the same date stamp thing with no date in the middle of it on the other side, on the back. So I gotta wipe the ass. I'm having the morning shit here. That's potatoes, steamed potatoes, jalapenos, celery, honey, jalapeno juice. I'm gonna wipe the ass. Anyway, so I attached the sticker, and the postal clerk had an idea how to attach it. Seems like he had been through this before. He just removed some of the green sticky stuff to the to blank green cards. He tore it off. And, I attached it that way. But then I asked him, I told him I wanted some scissors. And he got some scissors, and I cut them custom cut so that they would fit just right and all that. And then, of course, he gave me this stamper, and I stamped stuff. And then, then I got a picture, because that was another thing that the clerk told me she wouldn't allow me to get no picture. And then she told me to go to the lobby. Then I went out of the lobby, which is, those registered mail things aren't supposed to leave they're supposed to leave that post office, that office, out of sight, hand to hand. So this robot, had me, participating in some illegal shit and all kinds of stuff. And she never even sealed the envelope, never put the brown tape or the stuff in the presence who I was, I suppose I was supposed to be the one that was supposed to be sure that she did all that stuff. And in a way, yes, but also in a way, no. They're supposed to know that they're supposed to set it up that way. But, it's kind of like a revolving door. It's a little here, a little there, and, and the way that, things are going with COVID and the election fraud and all kinds of shit that's being, revealed, and this and that, and, things are getting more blatantly where the ET and the command and the chain of command all the way down to the military CEOs, employees, animals, and all that other shit are just blatantly lying and seeing what they can get away with as far as anything. Right there in everyone's face. It doesn't matter to them no more. Since how they've been caught, they're coming out. It doesn't matter. They don't care no more. They'll just see what they can get away with right in front of me. And in front of, full public view of everyone else. They don't care. That's the game that's being played now. And the societal, it's part to the societal existence now. It's whatever, they can get away with to ruin everything. To ruin everything according to legal precedents. Legal precedents. They don't care. So, yeah. So I just... got the beans in here ready to cook today. They soaked overnight. So I'll have a batch of beans and the shits will get more fibery. Had a nice long fibery shit the other day. There, we got the little organizers now. I got these little black things here. Black pegs. But, so anyway, so, and then, long story short, I got the pictures. And she was over there at her station, just a couple desks, or a couple cash registers down at the same counter. This is the post office, or the postal service counter, postal service store counter. And they got like 4 different cash registers there. And they're all filled up when it's busy, and then accordingly. So there's just the African American, the black guy, and the white girl in there. And so she was witnessing all this that was going on. So I had brought the green card back eventually, because I went there around 9 a.m, early. And now it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So 4 hours later, after talking to the other postal store clerk, and he said that those registered mail envelopes are held in the stores till 5 o'clock, and then they move them out. So I did not say a word to her. I didn't mention her to the other clerk. I never mentioned her incompetence. I didn't mention nothing. I just let the situation speak as it is, the unspoken, In other words, she just got caught red-handed. She just got caught red-handed. And also, she never stamped it in the presents with the red thing, never put the brown tape on it. And when I did the picture, it was just a regular white envelope, and it was outside the lobby. And they got a security camera recording everything in the corner of up in the corner in the lobby, or in the where the counter is at. So everything's all recording it on the record. But like I said, at the top, they don't care. They don't care if anything's being recorded. They don't care. As far as following their own, what they call their own legal rules, they don't care anymore. It's that blatant now. They'll steal elections. I'm just talking legally. I'm bringing in lawful stuff. Because even the quote unquote good guys in the legal field, many of them are all on the same team with the bad guys. They're just putting on a front. So I'm exposing the whole enchilada. Both Biden and Trump. Although Trump goes around and he touts that there was election fraud. Well, yeah, according to the legal rules, yeah. And it was all caught on camera and everything, and all kinds of YouTube videos on it and shit like that. But at the top, the Vatican controls both Biden and Trump. At the top, the ET that controls the Vatican military. So, they're all strung up under I call it the extraterrestrial. And, and I audit the extraterrestrial. I interact with the extraterrestrial. The ET knows it. The ET knows who I am. So, the ET just doesn't like me, period. Because I bring in the motherly boob energy, the tit energy, all the legal births the children were trained to be ripped off the breast, all kinds of shit. So here I am. So anyway, so this clerk 77, I'm right there in front, right there, full witness. She's having to watch all this. In other words, everything that she attempted to destroy has been put back the way it's supposed to be, according to legal representation that she is representing, which she just totally blatantly just broke all the rules, didn't give a fuck. But it wasn't her. It's the ET mind controlling her. She's electronically demon possessed. And these are the things that I know, that I have experience with. So, especially more and more being in the backyard here, with legally being laid off, so I got all this extra, wonderful time, so to speak, to get things accomplished here at this place, like this roof, this firewood, these pools. Enjoying the lovely natural dingy time. Being out here, getting things organized and cleaned and shit. Yeah. Which I get. A lot of the fungal acne is starting to clear up. It seems like I've been putting apple cider vinegar on it. So yeah. So anyway, so on the affidavit, even when I was bicycling the affidavit down to the Postal Service store. I had this thought that there was no mention to the arbitration. No mention to the arbitration in the statement. But I just said, well, I'm just going to send it anyway, because I had mentioned enough. I had mentioned the date, August 9th, and I had mentioned the class action waiver, which was, half the subject matter to be opted out. So, the new arbitration rule and class action matter was to be opted out. In other words, there would be no option to use the courts to come up to incite a class action lawsuit. So, in other words, the courts were not to be used in any banking incident, except for a few just regular stuff. But for the most part, according to certain this and that, the bank has automatic full arbitration powers. The word arbitrate just means that they're going to decide whatever they want, however they want to run things. no matter what has happened, it's going to be their call and their call only. There's going to be no court involved, no liens involved, because they put that verbiage in there. No liens shall be used. In other words, this was the extraterrestrial looking to see if he could weasel out and get me in a position where he thinks he could utilize something to weasel out to the master lien that I wrote up. I call it the master key lien, which is at its most the whole reason why I'm writing this affidavit to send to them. Because they had tried to weasel out with it over at the employment place where I was at when I got laid off. They tried to trick me into signing a contract before I left that all liens and all parent companies, or all liens that I have or might bring up, have no effect against the Natron Wood Products or any parent companies, and knowing that Natron Wood Product is connected to the Vatican parent company. Although the manager denied any connections at all, just flat out denied it by saying other words, as though, oh, this is just regular standard procedure. It has nothing to do with what you're talking about, Russell. And although he didn't out and out say it, he just kept to his own thing. Well, this is just regular procedure that we do with everyone who works on proprietary technology equipment. Because I ran a proprietary technology equipment. It's just something that some engineer customized, as though it's supposed to be something special. It's supposed to be secret from everyone else. They're not supposed to know all the intricacies in and out, how to get a patch machine going the same exact way that they did. Otherwise, that would be competition infringement. And only the winners win in this competition society. You're not supposed to know our secrets, how we win. In other words, it's another withholding situation, which is an attack or tax. Tax withholding just means, you better do what I do, and if you don't, I'm going to attack you. That's the basis to the whole legal system. You better do what I tell you to do, and I'm going to decide what I want done for you and what you're going to do, and if you don't, well, I'm going to attack you. Well, that's bully tactics. That's the bully. That's how the whole legal system has actually been run on the abusive mudstuck side, which is coming out now more and more and more in the public face, just all out. No, the bully doesn't care anymore that he's been caught, and he's being examined more and more from the lawful side. It's the law that is exposing, the lawful energy that is exposing all this legal nonsense, the abuse, mudstuck legal nonsense. And then at a bigger picture, it's just the universe is growing up. That's the child universe is growing up, and it's the universal mother that's helping bringing the universal child to the breast to drink natural universal breast milk to grow. So anyway, long story short, or long story medium. I gave the medium version because there's plenty more to add to it. Plenty more. So everything's wonderful, As I was, here writing up the affidavit, I put it all on video. Most of it. Most everything I put on video. And some of the stuff I didn't publish on YouTube, I got on private hard drives. And there were reasons for that. Yeah. But anyway, as I was, filling in the green cards with different writing, it was just a little bit different, added extra stuff to the green cards on the address to the legal agent that weren't on the envelope itself. And, and the extraterrestrial sending thoughts to me, telling me, oh, you can't write that on there. It's different than what's on the envelope. Da, 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 da. And I'm sitting here pondering all this baby stuff, little child control stuff that was going on, looking to control me, bringing in the motherly nature. And I'm thinking, I just sat there and I had, more thoughts came in. And I said, well, nah, this is this is that, this is this is that, this is that. And I could tell, because everything was centered around that green card, which was the whole reason behind this whole, why that green card got ripped off there. Not only did I want to write the affidavit and send this to give them no wiggle room, they were not going to get, E.T. was going to get no wiggle room. Yeah, you, E.T., I'm speaking to you right now. E.T., you weren't going to get no wiggle room. So here I am speaking upon the E.T. At the same time, E.T., you're listening to me. So I'm telling you right now, child. Not only was I giving you, you. And as I'm saying this and pointing and looking at you, E.T., I know you've got a bunch of people mind controlled as though I'm talking to them. E.T., Vatican military, CEOs and employees. I know how you function. And I know how you get other living organisms to identify with things that I say, as though I'm talking to them, the soul. And I'm not. I'm talking to you, E.T., directly, who has been controlling other living organisms and controlling the soul, which has energy and power to distinguish between what I say and who I'm saying it to. But seeing how that soul has been sold, the energy in that soul has been sold to be very low. The living organism, most living organisms, have a hard time recognizing that you, E.T., I'm talking to you. You, E.T., little child, little abusive mud-stuck child, are the ones that are causing the living organism to think that when I point this finger and when I look in the eye into the camera lens, that soul thinks that I'm talking to them. And I'm not. So, you tried everything you could to weasel out this lean position that I hold in advance upon you, which is nothing more at the higher level than Mother raising you, bringing you to the breast because you're too small and weak to bring yourself to the breast to grow up. Just a little baby. Just a tiny little universal baby that's growing more conscious as mother raises you. The universal mother. And I live with the universal motherly energy. I live with the energy. And I bring forth that energy. Or we together, the universal energy and me, the same elements that all the universal elements are, I am the same. There is no difference. I am equal to all universal elements and variations. Equal. And I know that you, universal E.T., child bully, stuck in the mud with it abusively, think that you are God. The kind of God that goes around portraying himself that you created everything, that you control everything. And there's no way around it for other living organisms to ever be as powerful as you. And am I here to say you are off your rocker? In other words, you're off the nipple. You've been sucking a plastic bottle milk from a cow. And there it is. I'm not letting you wiggle out from the wonderful growth that needs to happen. That includes all these affidavits I've written up to remind you that the nipple is right there. The nipple is right there. The universal nipple. The universal nipple. This is just symbolic when I show this on the picture. The invisible universal nipple is right here. Auditing. The audit is the universal nipple. The audit is symbolically the universal nipple. This is a full public audit, bringing everything from the private into the public. The two merging together to be one. It's actually the three in one. The boy energy, the girl energy. It's actually the girl energy, the boy energy as it stands right now. The girl energy, the boy energy, and the child atmosphere. The three energies. The atmosphere is the wonderful peace and easiness and relaxation that's in the atmosphere when the girl and the boy energy are equal in power. Not one thinking that they're the creator of everything and control everything. Power. That's childishness. Bully childishness. Stuck in the mud with it abusively. Abusive with it and stuck in the mud with it, looking to keep it that way forever. So it's time for the little guy. More and more, the time is here, and without time, the growth is happening now. That's the audit. The audit is the growth. And you'd be no more of this withholding stuff to be going on forever.
going to be forever equality. All living organisms, equal in strength, equal in knowledge, equal in energy, equal in power. Together, that is the strongest group. Full independent, all living organisms having the capacity and bringing forth whenever they want everything. That is a full audit. Everything transparent. No more of this hiding stuff. No more of this lying stuff. Mud stuck, abusively looking to be mud stuck with it. It's the abuse and mud stuck in the abuse, which means not getting out of it, not looking to want to get out of it, the stuckness, not wanting to get out of that bad side, the dark side, the Darth Vader side, to the Force. The abuse. Yeah, there's a dark side to the abuse, which is just another word for the Force. Looking to keep the abuse going, or the dark force going forever. And I'm here to say, child, it ain't going to continue. The atmosphere around here is not going to continue like that forever. With the boy energy looking to always stamp out and to keep submissive the girl energy, who's the one that brings forth the cubs that are stolen out of these hospitals through a legal, abusive, mud-stuck, fraudulent system. No. Yeah, and I'm talking to you, E.T. bully child. No. It ain't gonna stay like that. For me. For me. And I'm just gonna speak for me. For me. And that's all it comes down to. For me. I ain't gonna be controlled anymore. And I shall continue exposing you forever until the exposure does not have to be there constantly all the time, forever. And that would reveal to me and others in the universe the energy. That would reveal to the energy that runs through me and whatever else likes to run with it. That would reveal to the universal energy that I utilize. All the elements, variations that there are. That would reveal to me that there has been growth on behalf of the little child energy. Learning to realize that the child has the same capacity and equal access to all the other universal resources, all the elements and variations that I have. Equal. Equality. Not one forcing me what to do. And I'm talking to you. You. Force child. You. Abusive child. You. Stuck in the mud with the force abuse child. You. matter how much you try to project this on another living organism. I'm speaking straight to you. I wonder if the buttocks is showing in here. Looks like there's some buttocks up there in the mirror. Down here. Buttocks. Yeah, I'm talking to you, little offended one. Gets offended at everything. Gets offended at all the different universal expressions, and then sends those thoughts into this brain as though I'm bringing offense, and putting the ideas in the brain, what the offenses are. Like the little thought signal in there that I'm supposedly telling you to kiss my ass or suck on a nipple. That's your projection, son. Yeah, little king bully boy son. That's your projection. Looking to blame everything you're projecting on me. Your little control mechanism that I don't fall for no more. Anyway, so there's always plenty more to add, but 52 seems to be a wonderful number to end on right here. So, pull finger. And that's just a free expression. Interpret it any way I want. Not what you want to put into the thoughts as though what it is. Try to convince me what it is. So